Today's card of the day is Reins of Power. This 4-mana instant reads, untap all creatures you control, and all creatures target opponent controls. You and that opponent each gain control of all creatures the other controls until end of turn. Those creatures gain haste until end of turn. At first glance, this card may seem straightforward, but it's packed with hidden potential. Let's dive into how Reins of Power can turn the tide of a game. The most obvious application? Trade your weaker board for your opponent's stronger one, and swing in with their creatures. By turning their strength against them, you can effectively weaponize their board. If you have no creatures yourself, it gets even better. They will have nothing to block with, making Reins of Power a potential 4-mana, game-ending spell. But there's more to Reins of Power than meets the eye, especially in a commander game. Untapping creatures and giving them haste doesn't just enable attacks. It also unlocks any tap abilities your opponent's creatures might have. Think of mana dorks, creatures that tap to deal damage, or utility effects. If you have a sacrifice outlet, the value grows even more. You can sacrifice their creatures for your own gain, drawing cards, generating mana, or fueling other strategies, and at the same time effectively removing their board. In multiplayer games, Reins of Power is very interesting. You can exchange your board with one opponent's and then attack a different player with their creatures. Your own creatures stay safely out of harm's way. This strategy keeps your resources intact while maximizing damage output. This card isn't just for offense, it can double as removal. By attacking with your opponent's creatures, you can force unfavorable blocks. Alternatively, you can coordinate with the defending player to eliminate key threats on the battlefield. Reins of Power is just as powerful on defense. Here are 2 key scenarios. Emergency blocks. If you're under attack, switch your board with another player's and use their creatures to block the incoming damage. Your creatures remain safe, and you can neutralize the threat. Fog effect. Exchange your board with the attacking players. When you gain control of their attacking creatures, they're removed from combat, effectively negating the attack. One of the most satisfying uses for Reins of Power is countering one-sided board wipes. For instance, if an opponent casts an overloaded Cyclonic Rift, you can respond by swapping boards. Their creatures get bounced back to their hand, while yours stay on the battlefield and safely return to your control at the end of the turn. Reins of Power is a deceptively simple card that rewards creative play. Whether you're stealing creatures for a game-ending attack, neutralizing a threat, or countering devastating spells, this instant proves its worth time and time again. Keep it in mind for your next deck. You might just surprise yourself with how impactful it can be.